He was chosen before he was born, empowered by the Spirit of God, stronger than armies, feared by nations. But no matter how great a man's strength is, without surrender to God, it amounts to weakness. This is the true story of Samson, a man who God unusually endowed with power, a man of reckless love and heartbreaking betrayal. Yet even in his fall, God granted him redemption. Let's travel back, way back, to a time when the Israelites were stuck under Philistine rule for 40 years. That's right, 40, not 4, not 14. 40 years of Philistine bosses telling you what to do, what not to do, and probably charging you way too much for the rent of your own land. In the quiet hills of Zorah lived Manoah, who was of the tribe of Dan, and his wife. Although they had been married for a long time, they had no children because Manoah's wife was barren. One day she is just minding her own business when, suddenly, an angel of the Lord appears to her while sitting in a field. Angel, beaming.
Congratulations, you're going to have a son.
She was so surprised by that message that she could barely speak, but with trembling lips she whispered,
"Is it me?"
I know. You haven't been able to have kids, but that's about to change. Just this, you must drink no wine, no eating unclean thing, and don't even think about cutting his hair. This boy is going to be God's special servant, a Nazirite from birth. He'll start rescuing Israel from the Philistines."
Manoah's wife, still thinking. She sprints to find Manoah, who is a little dazed by what she said.
An angel appeared to you? Did he leave instructions?
Yes. I must not eat anything unclean. I must not drink wine. We must not cut the child's hair ever when he's born.
Oh, good Lord, please send the angel to us again. God answered his prayer, and the angel appeared to his wife again. She went to call Manoah, and the angel repeated the message for both of them to hear.
9 months later, Manoah's wife gives birth to a son. They name him Samson. The boy grows up strong and wild, and his hair grows very long. God's Spirit stirs in him from the time he was a child. Young Samson grew up and soon became a young man. One day, grown-up Samson strolls into Timnah and sees a Philistine. Day, a beautiful young woman. He was convinced he had just seen the most beautiful girl in the whole world, and he wanted her no matter what. Samson bursting into the house.
Mom, Dad, I will never forget this day as long as I live. I have seen the most beautiful girl in the whole world, and she called me the most handsome man she has ever seen. She is the girl I'm going to marry. She's Philistine.
Manoah nearly choking.
A Philistine? Son, can't you find a nice Israelite girl? We know many of them are fond of you. For instance, Miriam?
No, she's the one. Trust me. This is a match from heaven. Once you see her, you will agree that she is the one. Get her for me.
Little did they know God was working through even Samson's wild choices. On the way to meet his future in-laws, Samson gets attacked by a lion. Yes, a lion, not a stray cat. The path to Timnah wound through vineyards and rocky hills. The sun was bright, but the shadows beneath the vines were long and cool. Samson walked alone, the only sound the crunch of gravel under his feet and the distant hum of bees. Suddenly, the air went still. From behind a thicket, a low, guttural growl broke the silence. Samson froze. Out of the shadows leapt a lion, young but full-grown, golden mane bristling and eyes burning with hunger. Samson steadying his breath wide-eyed. The lion roared, muscles rippling as it pounced. Samson's heart hammered, but in that instant, something surged within him. A power not his own, a force as wild as the wind. The Spirit of the Lord moved mightily upon him. The lion lunged. Samson sidestepped, grabbed its mane, and wrestled the beast with bare hands. The two tumbled onto the dusty ground, claws scraping at Samson's arm, teeth snapping perilously close. Samson, gritting his teeth. Not today! He planted his feet, twisted, and with a burst of strength he didn't know he had, tore the lion apart as easily as if it were a young goat. The air echoed the struggle, panting, dust, and then silence. Samson staggered back, hands trembling. He looked at the lifeless lion, astonished, breathless, and a little in shock. Samson, softly to himself, glancing upward. Thank you, Lord. That was something. He glanced around, making sure no one had seen. After a moment to catch his breath, he continued on the path. He keeps this little adventure to himself. After all, I killed a lion isn't your typical dinner conversation. Later, while returning home, on the same path, he finds bees making honey in the lion's carcass. Well, who would have imagined this? He scoops out honey, snacks on it, and takes some with him home and shares with his parents, leaving out the "from a dead lion" detail. Samson's parents met the Philistine girl's parents, and the wedding dates were fixed. 30 Philistine men were chosen by the girl's family to be the groom's companions at the feast. The day of the wedding feast arrived, a grand celebration in Timnah. Tables groaned under platters of roasted lamb, figs, and honey cakes. Laughter and music filled the air as guests, Philistine and Israelite alike, mingled beneath strings of lanterns. Samson, dressed in his finest, looked every bit the proud groom, but his eyes sparkled with mischief. Samson, standing to address the crowd, holding up a goblet.
Friends, since you Philistines love a good contest, let's have some fun. I've got a riddle for you. Solve it by the end of the feast, and I'll give each of you a new suit of clothes, 30 in all. But if you can't solve it, you each owe me the same. What do you say?
Philistine guest number 1 winking at his friends. Philistine number 1, we accept, but don't make it too easy. Last time I solved a riddle, my grandmother still had her baby teeth. General laughter. Philistine Dussiker 2, and no trick questions about Israelite customs, all right? Let's hear it, Samson. Samson grins, takes a dramatic sip, and recites,
Out of the eater, something to eat, out of the strong, something sweet.
The guests murmur, some scratching their heads. Philistine number 3, elbowing his neighbor. Is this one of those "what walks on 4 legs in the morning" riddles? Philistine number 1. No, I've heard this one before. The answer is cheese. It's always cheese. Samson, chuckling. Not this time. Narrator. The feast continued. Each day, the guests huddled in corners, arguing over possible answers. Philistine number 2. All right, think. What's strong and sweet? My uncle after too much honey wine? Philistine number 3. Maybe it's a trick. Maybe the answer is time, or love, or, I don't know, tax collectors? The guests laugh, some rolling their eyes. Philistine number 1. Let's ask his wife. She must know. No man keeps secrets from his new bride. Samson's wife, looking uneasy, tries to distract them. Samson's wife. Maybe you should just enjoy the feast. Have you tried the fig cakes? Samson's wife later, alone with Samson. Samson's wife, pouting. You don't love me? If you did, you'd tell me the answer. You've given my people a riddle, but you have not told me the answer. Samson, teasing.
I haven't told my mother or father either.
Samson's wife. But I'm your wife. Am I not more important to you than your parents? Narrator. The days passed by. Samson's wife cried, pleaded, and begged, her eyes red from tears, until finally Samson would no longer bear it.
All right. Here's the secret. I killed a lion, and later found bees had made honey in its carcass. Out of the eater, the lion, came something to eat, honey.
Narrator. No sooner had Samson whispered the truth than she hurried to the Philistine guests. Philistine number 2, hushed. Did you get it? Please tell us you got it. Samson's wife, whispering, it's honey from a lion. Philistine number 1, a lion? What kind of riddle is that? Philistine number 3, shh, just act surprised. On the final day, as the sun dipped low, the guests gathered around Samson, trying to look casual. Philistine number 1, with exaggerated confidence. Samson, we've been thinking, what is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? Samson's face falls. He realizes the truth at once.
If you hadn't plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle.
Philistine number 2, grinning. A deal's a deal. Narrator. Samson, burning with anger at the betrayal, storms out of the feast. The guests slap each other on the back, already discussing what color their new clothes should be, while Samson's wife watches, sorrow in her eyes. What remains of the day's feast, spilled wine, half-eaten cakes, the laughter of the guests fading as Samson's footsteps echo into the night. And so what began as a game ended in bitterness. For Samson, for his wife, and for everyone about to be caught in the crossfire between 1, his strengths, and 2, he pride of the Philistines. Samson went to the Philistine city called Ashkelon, puts down 30 men, took their clothes to fulfill the reward for the riddle. Meanwhile, his wife is given to his best man. Scene, foxes, flames, and fiascos. Later, Samson comes back with a goat as a peace offering, only to find his wife has a new husband, his Philistine best man. Samson, outraged. This time it's personal. He catches 300 foxes, don't ask how, ties them together in pairs, attaches torches to their tails, and sends them blazing through the Philistine fields. Grain, vineyards, olive groves, burned down. The Philistines, now furious, burn his wife and her father. Samson retaliates again, this time with a vengeance. He attacked the Philistines with fury and put down many of them. As things escalate. It was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Scene, the 1,000 Philistines, the jawbone battle. Samson hides in a cave, in the rock of Etam, but the Philistines gather an army, surrounding Judah because of him. The people of Judah, not wanting trouble, send 3,000 men to fetch him.
Judahite approached Samson and said to him, Samson, you're endangering us here. We have to turn you in. Fine, but swear you won't kill me yourselves.
Bound with ropes, Samson is handed over. The Philistine army swarmed, their weapons glinting, their shouts echoing off the stones. Philistine captain, raising his sword. "There he is! The troublemaker! Bind him tighter!" Hands bound with new ropes, Samson stood tall, eyes scanning the crowd. When he got to Lehi, the Philistine warriors jeered, some tossing rocks at his feet, others boasting about how they'd finally got the man who'd burned their fields and broken their pride. Samson, quietly, almost to himself, "Lord, I trust you. I may be bound, but I know you've got more in store." Suddenly, the Spirit of God came upon him, and the rope that bound him fell off him as if they were burnt by fire. "Philistine soldier, he's loose, get him!" Samson's eyes darted to the ground, searching for a weapon. There, half buried in the dust, was a jawbone of a donkey, bleached by the sun. Not a sword, not a spear, but it would do. He grabbed the jawbone and spun to face the oncoming wave of Philistines. Samson, shouting, "Come on then!" The first soldier lunged, but Samson swung the jawbone with such force that the man went down instantly. Another followed. Samson ducked, spun, and struck. Again and again, Philistine warriors charged, and again, Samson met them, strength flowing through him like a river unleashed. The battle was a whirlwind, dust swirling, the clang of metal, war cries cut short. The jawbone flashed in the sunlight, knocking aside helmets and shields, sending men tumbling. Philistine captain, shouting orders, voice cracking, "Surround him! Don't let him escape!" But Samson moved like a force of nature, dodging, striking, never slowing. One by one, the Philistines fell, until 1,000 men lay scattered across the hill. Finally, as silence settled over the field, Samson stood alone, sweat streaking his brow, the jawbone still gripped in his hand. The ground was littered with weapons and shields, the echo of the fight hanging in the still air. Samson, catching his breath, shouting to the sky,
"With the donkey's jawbone, I have put down 1,000 men." When he finished speaking, he threw away the jawbone, and the place was called Ramath-Lehi. Samson suddenly felt thirsty and exhausted, but there was no water source to be found. He cried to God, "Lord, you gave me this victory. Am I to die of thirst out here now?"
and in that moment, God split open a hollow in the ground. Fresh water gushed forth, and Samson fell to his knees, drinking deeply, revived by the hand of the one who had called him to greatness. Scene: the Gaza gates. Samson, never one to stay out of trouble, visits Gaza and spends the night with a woman. Armed Philistines surrounded the house, intending to destroy him as he leaves in the morning. But at midnight, Samson gets up, rips the city gates from their hinges, and carries them up a hill. One Philistine guard, "Did our gates just walk away?" Delilah's deception and betrayal. Now, Samson falls in love with Delilah, a very attractive young woman who could charm the stripes off a zebra. The Philistine leaders come with a simple offer. Find out his secret, and we'll make you rich. Delilah tries everything.
Samson, honey, what really is it that makes you this strong?
Smirking fresh bowstrings. If you tie me up with those, then all my strength will be gone.
Delilah tested it out. Samson must have dozed off, for she tied him up with new bowstrings. She then cried out, "Samson, the Philistines are here to capture you." He broke free of the bowstrings. She tries new ropes, weaving his hair in a loom. None of them works. She nags day after day.
You have lied to me, making a fool of me these many times. How can you say you love me if you keep secrets from me?
Samson, groaning.
Okay. I can't take any more of this. Fussing over nothing. This is it. No razor must ever touch my head. If my hair's gone, so will my strength be.
Delilah knows she's got it. While Samson sleeps, she calls in a barber. Snip, snip, snip. Samson's strength vanishes. The Philistines pounce, gouge out his eyes, and drag him off in chains. Scene, Samson's last stand. Time passes. Samson's hair begins to grow. The Philistines throw a huge party to celebrate their victory and drag Samson out for entertainment.
Philistine MC. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the mighty Samson, who only a little while ago our army of seasoned warriors feared to face in battle, the acclaimed champion of the Jews. A man who single-handedly slew 1,000 of our soldiers without a sword or spear. He is all yours, now available for parties and public humiliation. Let him entertain us a little. Maybe even do a special jump or dance. His eyes are gone and his powers are gone, O Philistia. Know this day that our gods are truly more powerful.
Samson, led by a servant boy, whispers, "Put me by the pillars so I may lean on one of them." He prays quietly, "Lord, remember me. Just one more time, give me strength." With hands on the pillars, Samson shoves with all his might, shouting, "Lord, let me die with the Philistines." The temple groans, the roof collapses, and thousands are crushed, including every Philistine leader, and Samson himself died. He led Israel for 20 years. In his final moment, Samson accomplished more than in all his wild years before. His family buried him with honor, and his story became a legend of strength, mistakes, and a God whose plans never fail. Closing reflection. Samson wasn't perfect. Far from it, but God used him anyway. That's a lesson for us all. God can work through our strengths. He can also use our fumbles, stumbles, and even tumbles to bring his higher purposes to pass on earth. From he to whom much has been given, much is also expected. God expects humility and total surrender from all whom he has invested his great love and power in. He expects more from all he uses, and indeed from all his own. Delilah is symbolic. Maybe a man or a woman. Delilah may be sweet to be with, but that sweetness soon leaves a grievously bitter aftertaste that you can't get out of your mouth and life. Let every Samson flee from Delilah. If you want more Bible adventures with heart, humor, and heroes just as imperfect as the rest of us, don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and share these stories with your family. Thanks for watching. And remember, God loves using ordinary people for extraordinary things.